Today, we're reacting to an ESPN debate about the Pittsburgh Steelers hiring Mike McCarthy as their new head coach. The discussion focuses on whether this move really changes the direction of the franchise or if it's just a safe decision to stay competitive without fully rebuilding.
Accolades, including winning a Super Bowl in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers and coaching the Cowboys to 3 straight 12-win seasons. And now he takes over a team unsure about their starting quarterback for next season. Steelers owner Art Rooney commented about the hiring, saying this in part: he's been a winner everywhere he's been. Probably just as important for our purposes, the quarterbacks that he's worked with have all been very successful. So he has a proven track record of developing top-flight quarterbacks. Those are the things that maybe stick out the most. Okay, so we have a new head coach now in Pittsburgh. Stephen A., do you like the hiring of Mike McCarthy?
I'm not moved. I'm not moved at all. I'm not going to be disrespectful to Mike McCarthy and act like the man can't coach. The man has won 67% of his games, 61% of his games, I'm sorry. He's a Super Bowl champion. There's no doubt about that. 11-11 in the postseason. My problem is that when I look at the history of the Pittsburgh Steelers, clearly when you had Chuck Noll, who was there for, for many, many years, and you hired him at the age of 37. You found Bill Cowher out of nowhere. You hired him at the age of 35. You find Mike Tomlin out of nowhere. I'm not saying they weren't coordinators or anything like that, because obviously Tomlin was in Minnesota, but he was age 35. We didn't see this coming. And then all of a sudden you get this guy, and wow, Chuck Noll is there for 23 years, and Cowher's there for 15 years, and Tomlin's there for 19 years. And what route do you go now? You go with a 62-year-old. The last time we saw him, he was in Dallas. Obviously, they had back-to-back 12 or 13-win seasons, so they had some success there, but they didn't do anything in the playoffs. And that's who you pick. It's nothing to be excited about, to be quite honest with you, especially when you're still looking for your quarterback. Now, McCarthy inherited Favre. You can credit him with helping develop Aaron Rodgers, but remember that relationship proved to be, at the tail end of it, almost toxic, to the point where Aaron Rodgers was changing calls at the line of scrimmage. He was calling stuff low IQ, according to the reports, in terms of the play calling that was being given to him by Mike McCarthy. You go to Dallas, you got Dak Prescott, who's a stud, but y'all never really got over the hump. It's not something to be moved by. I don't think this is a move in a different direction. I view it as a lateral move, and I didn't expect much from McCarthy when he was in Dallas, and they had a much better roster, so I damn sure ain't going to expect much from him in Pittsburgh. That's where I'm at with it.
I will say I feel like since he's moved on from Green Bay, yes, he went to Dallas, I do feel like Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy have spoken more glowingly about each other in the media.
Absolutely.
And whatnot.
They have.
Right. So maybe they've mended fences behind
the past is the past.
Right. The past is the past.
I was just talking about that at the time together.
Right. Exactly. RC, resident Steeler here. What do you think?
In one word, uninspiring. Also think they know that. The big thing with Mike McCarthy is,
around this point, the conversation feels pretty underwhelming. Stephen A. makes it clear that this hire doesn't excite him at all. Even though McCarthy has a Super Bowl and a strong regular season record, it sounds like the Steelers aren't doing anything bold or new. Instead of finding the next young coach to build a long-term identity, they went with someone familiar and predictable.
he's a proven winner. Could you imagine when Mike Tomlin steps away? And here is the word or the phrasing I heard was used when Mike Tomlin stepped away from the team. It was like the mourning at a funeral. That's the way people have categorized the mood in the building when he walks away. It was like losing a family member. And so imagine if you're looking at a guy like Shieldhouse from the Los Angeles Rams, Chris Shula, the defensive coordinator of the Rams, another young, up-and-coming coordinator like Mike Tomlin was, the amount of pressure that's going to be on him when he steps to the microphone at any point. There was no Ben Johnson in this coaching cycle that was this can't-miss coach who should have had a head coaching job 2 years ago. And so for them it was, can he command and run the organization? He can do that. Has he worked and developed young quarterbacks? They feel like Aaron Rodgers, who's a little different to me because he's an all-time special talent, or Dak Prescott, who played well as a fourth-round drafted rookie who played well under Mike McCarthy. He feels like he's been able to work with young quarterbacks and have success. They spoke to his Super Bowls. They spoke to the way that he commands a level of respect in this league. And so to me, This is the only way this works. If Mike Tomlin is if Mike McCarthy is your bridge coach, the coach that's setting you up for your coach of the future that eventually leads you back to a Super Bowl, there needs to be young people on this staff. There needs to be people that he can groom on his staff who eventually take over and run the show.
Yeah, just don't bring Aaron Rodgers in. That's my thing with Pittsburgh. Don't, because I know how this would end if Mike McCarthy's paired up with Aaron. He's a good coach. All-time great quarterback, still playing at a good level. They'll be 10-7. We would fast forward to 2027 of January, and we'd have having the same conversation. What's next for Pittsburgh? So Mike McCarthy, obviously a good coach. And yes, what he does for quarterbacks, if you pair him with a young quarterback, or if you want to tell me that it's Will Howard, okay. But if you're going to say to me, Pittsburgh, that we just want to put the Band-Aid on the feeling of the funeral in the locker room, and we're just going to get Mike McCarthy and Aaron together, I think that's a catastrophic mistake in Pittsburgh, because you are now accepting mediocrity, and an organization and a brand that has never accepted mediocrity. And take it from me, I played on most organizations that they would strive for it. They were a standard, okay?
Here's where the criticism gets sharper. The idea of pairing Mike McCarthy with Aaron Rodgers really stands out as a mistake. It feels like a guaranteed path to being decent, but not great. Winning some games, maybe making the playoffs, but never truly competing for a championship. This part of the debate makes it seem like Pittsburgh is afraid of rebuilding and more focused on staying relevant than actually chasing greatness.
They were a standard, and if they do that, that tells me that they're comfortable being like everybody else.
In my opinion, Pittsburgh's not dealing with the acceptance of mediocrity. They're dealing with the unacceptance of a rebuild. They don't want to be bottom feeders. They don't want to be irrelevant.
Okay.
So the hope of relevancy to me with Mike McCarthy is what they decided on.
I'm going to end it by saying this. RC would know this better than me. Dan Rooney obviously handed over things to Art Rooney II. I think it was in 2003, even though he stayed on as chairman. But Art Rooney was president, if I remember correctly. This is his first hire as a head coach, since taking over as the principal owner, in 2017. In that time, the Pittsburgh Steelers are 0-6. So Steeler Nation is looking at him and his stewardship and his leadership over the franchise to see what he's made of as well. So this ain't just about McCarthy. This is about the Steelers as an organization. Are you, Art Rooney II, are you going to measure up to what the Steelers are supposed to be about moving forward? That is a question mark. And this ain't the greatest answer in the world right now, but it remains to be seen.
Yeah, I have so many questions about how this is going to move forward. So we'll continue this discussion because it is perplexing to just kind of put a Band-Aid, and I know that's probably not the right word on what's happening in Pittsburgh, but not wanting to go one way or the other. We'll continue this conversation later on. In the meantime,
quarterback coach interviewing today for the Bills and Raiders head coaching job, and Grant Udinski, the Jaguars offensive coordinator, just pulling out of the Browns job.
Another one?
He pulled out on the Browns just now. Oh. And so he's going to be staying with Jacksonville under a new deal unless he gets the Buffalo Bills head coaching job.
And do you expect we still have 4 vacancies here? How quickly are these moving?
I would think that by the middle of the week, most, if not all, these vacancies will be filled. It's going to be quick this week. Okay. Because the Broncos lost, Davis Webb and Vance Joseph are available. The Rams lost, their candidates are available. The Browns, Bills, Cardinals, and Raiders all.
Overall, this discussion highlights how divided people are about what the Steelers should be doing right now. Mike McCarthy is clearly a proven coach, but proven doesn't always mean progress. For a franchise known for long-term vision and stability, this move feels unusually conservative. The biggest concern is in McCarthy's ability to coach, but whether this hire represents real ambition. The Steelers have always been about setting the standard, not following the league's safe trends. Choosing a veteran coach without a clear quarterback plan makes it feel like they're stuck in between eras. There's also a sense that this move is about avoiding failure rather than chasing success. Pittsburgh doesn't want to be bad, doesn't want to rebuild, and doesn't want to fall out of relevance. But by avoiding those risks, they may also be avoiding the chance to truly reset and get back to the top. In the end, this hire puts pressure not just on Mike McCarthy, but on the Steelers as an organization. The question now is simple. Are they aiming for short-term stability, or are they willing to make tough decisions to build a real championship future? Let me know what you think, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more NFL reactions.